In NBA 2K18, NBA 2K added the addition of all-time teams into the game. And this gave us the ability to take all these teams into a My League and find out what the greatest team of all time is. Now, the only problem with these teams is that they are missing a bunch of players, so I'd like to give a huge shout out to Des Team for actually creating the roster we're going to be using in today's video. We're going to be finding out what the greatest team in NBA history is, but we are going to have all their all-time players. So we're in NBA 2K20 My League right now. The simulation system is a lot different from 2K18, and we're going to have all our updated players. And of course, we got players on different teams. We got Kawhi, who just played for the Raptors, LeBron now on the Lakers. But we'll actually go check out which players ended up making the all-time teams. So we got every team right here in Customized League, every all-time team, and I kept them in the same divisions that they are currently in right now. We're going to be turning off injuries as well as trades for the simulation, and then everything is going to be automated, so I have no impact on how well any of these teams do. So now we're just going to check out all of the teams and kind of check out their top players on their team. Starting off, we got the 76ers. They're led by Allen Iverson, Moses Malone, Dr. J, and they do actually have Charles Barkley on their team. Joel Embiid also making the list right there. Of course, Charles Barkley not normally in the rosters. Next, we got the Bucks led by Kareem, a 99 overall. We got Giannis, Oscar Robertson, Sidney Moncrief, and Marquise Johnson. Then we got the all-time Bulls. Of course, we got MJ, Scottie Pippen, D. Rose when he was in his prime, Dennis Rodman. So it's a pretty solid team for the Bulls right there. Then we got the Cavs, led by LeBron, Kyrie, Mark Price. We got the Celtics. They got an insane team. Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Bob Cousy leading their squad. We got the Clippers, led by Kawhi Leonard. And he actually hasn't played a game with the Clippers yet, but he's already their top player. Then we got Bob McAdoo, Chris Paul, Paul George, World Be Free. We got the Grizzlies. And this team is led by the Gasol brothers and Mike Conley. But the Grizzlies, a lot of current players on their team. We got the Hawks, led by Bob Pettit, Dominique Wilkins, Mutombo. We got the Heat. Again, we got LeBron James, D. Wade, Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway, and Shaq. This isn't when Shaq was at the height of his career, though. We got the Hornets. One of our weaker teams here, we got Eddie Jones, Glenn Rice, Kemba Walker. Nobody over 90 overall on that squad. We got the Jazz, John Stockton, Karl Malone, Pistol Pete. We got the Kings, led by Oscar Robertson, Nate Archibald, Mitch Richmond, Jerry Lucas, Chris Webber. Boogie actually makes it on this list as well. Unfortunately, now he's injured. We got the Knicks, Walt Frazier, Patrick Ewing, Willis Reed, Richie Gerwin, Carmelo Anthony actually in the top 5 players there as well. We got the Lakers, Magic Johnson, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron on this team now, and Jerry West. We got the Magic, Penny, T-Mac, Dwight Howard. Of course, we got to have Shaq up there. Grant Hill, the Mavs, they're going to be led by Dirk Nowitzki. Got the Nets led by Dr. J, Jason Kidd, and they also have Durant and Kyrie now on their squad. We got the Nuggets led by David Thompson, Carmelo, and Alex English. We got the Pacers led by Paul George, and we do have Reggie Miller on this team. It says Reggie here, probably because 2K thinks Reggie is inappropriate for some reason. Then we got the Pelicans, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Baron Davis. We got the Pistons led by Isaiah Thomas. We got the Raptors led by Kawhi Leonard, Vince Carter. We got DeRozan on there as well. And then another addition to this list is Chris Bosh, who normally is not on this team with the normal 2K rosters. We got the Rockets, led by Hakeem, Moses Malone, Harden, up there, of course. I wonder if Westbrook, Westbrook is on this list as well. Next, we got the Spurs, led by Tim Duncan, George Gervin, David Robinson. We got Kawhi again. He's on 3 teams now. We got the Suns, led by Steve Nash. We got Stoudemire up there. And then we got Charles Barkley yet again. We got the Thunder, led by Durant, Gary Payton, Westbrook, Ray Allen, Paul George. We got the Timberwolves with Garnett and Kevin Love. We got the Trailblazers with Clyde Drexler, Bill Walton, Lillard on there. We got the Warriors, of course. We got Will Chamberlain, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Rick Barry, Chris Mullin. We'll have Klay Thompson on here. I wonder if Draymond... Yeah, Draymond does make the list. We're in those championship teams. Draymond was a great player. And then the Wizards, last but not least team, we got Elvin Hayes leading this team. Gilbert Arenas. We got John Wall on the squad. Bradley Beal's up there as well. But those are going to be all our all-time teams. Leave a comment down below on which team you think out of all these is the greatest of all time and is going to win a championship in a simulation of my league. Also, let me know who you think is going to be MVP. But let's just hop right into the simulation and find out what happens. So make it to the end of the season. Magic Johnson ends up winning MVP. Pretty decent season, almost getting a double-double with those assists right there. 9.5 assists, 14.3 points. I'm surprised it's him, though, because of how many great players are on the Lakers. I mean, you got some of the greatest players of all time on that team. I mean, Magic, Shaq, Kobe, Kareem. Those are some of the greatest players, top 5, top 10 players in NBA history. We got Rookie of the Year goes to Reggie Miller. Years Pro is the lowest on all these lists because there's not going to be any rookies on any of these teams. Billy Cunningham gets Sixth Man of the Year for the 76ers. We got Bill Russell, Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't do too good on offense, 7 points, 7.7 rebounds, but 1.7 blocks per game is pretty decent. And he also gets Most Improved Player. Coach of the Year going to go to Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson is the head coach for the LA Lakers in the simulation because he did win 5 championships as head coach for them. Now let's move on to these All-NBA teams. Our guard, of course, we got Magic and Penny Hardaway going to be our other guard on the first team. LeBron ends up making it. Karl Malone, Anthony Davis. Going over the second team, we got Chris Paul, Allen Iverson, Durant, Bob Pettit, and Dwight Howard, of course. Going over the third team, we got Patrick Ewing, Garnett, LeBron again. So LeBron making the All-NBA teams twice. Pistol Pete and Walt Frazier. So no Michael Jordan for the guards. A lot of the top players not making it, like Kareem as well. No Kobe on these lists either. So pretty crazy. MJ does make the All-Defensive team. So now we're just going to check out the standings in the East. The all-time Celtics are going to get the best record with 64 wins. They're kind of seen as one of the greatest franchises now. It's kind of usually a toss-up between the Celtics and the Lakers. Bucks going to be second. Then we got the Knicks, 76ers, the Heat, Cavs, Magic, Wizards. And then scrolling down, the Bulls barely don't make it in there. So unfortunate to MJ. He does not make it, being one of the greatest players of all time. And the worst team is going to be the Pacers with 28 wins. The Raptors are close to being the worst there as well. Now going over to the West, it's going to be the Lakers. So Lakers, Celtics, the two top teams. Lakers with 68 wins. Rockets making playoffs. Thunder, Kings, Clippers, Jazz, Blazers, and Warriors are going to be the last team actually making the playoffs. Nuggets were the team that was closest but did not make it in. And then the worst team and the worst record of all the teams here are going to be the New Orleans Pelicans with a record of 25-57. Now going over to season stats, LeBron James going to be our points per game leader. And as you can see, points per game is pretty low, only 24.6. And the reason for this is probably because every team has their greatest players. No player is going to be able to get the ball and be that star player because everybody on their team is a star. Allen Iverson second, though. We actually got two 76ers players at the top right there. Going over to rebounds per game, it goes to Kevin Garnett with 11.2. Kevin Love also on 5. Assists per game goes to Penny Hardaway. Steals per game goes to John Stockton, and he's actually really close to being the top for assists per game as well. Blocks per game is going to go to Dwight Howard, getting 2.8 blocks per game. Really good season for him right there. Best field goal percentage goes to Bob McAdoo, and the best three-point percentage is going to go to Morris Peterson of the Raptors, so kind of surprising there. We got Steve Nash, Kyle Lowry does very good as well, Bob Cousy, Vince Carter, a lot of Raptors players at the top here, which is what I like to see. I am a Raptors fan. Unfortunately, they did not make playoff. And something else that is pretty interesting. Check out points per game. A lot of these teams scored a lot of points. The Lakers being at the top with almost 130 points per game. The Pelicans being the worst with 112. So a lot of high scoring games in this simulations. But let's just get right into the playoffs here. Let's simulate the first round and find out who moves on to the second round. So starting off in the East, Celtics 4-0 sweep against the Wizards. 76ers 4-1 win against the Heat. The Knicks 4-1 victory against the Cavs, and the Bucks 4-0 sweep against the Magic. So the top 4 teams make it in the East, but the West is a different story. The Lakers with a 4-0 victory, but then the Clippers with an upset over the Sacramento Kings. The Utah Jazz with an upset over the Thunder, and the Rockets end up beating the Trailblazers. So a few upsets in the West, no upsets in the East. Let's find out what happens in the second round. In the West, we got the top 2 seeds moving on, the Lakers and the Rockets. And in the East, a huge upset by the 76ers, defeating the Boston Celtics. And then the Bucks defeat the Knicks 4-1. So those are our conference finals. And heading into the NBA Finals, we got the all-time Lakers versus the all-time 76ers. So I want to try to get some gameplay here. So the Lakers take a 2-1 lead. Unfortunately, you cannot simulate game by game here. And then in game number 4, the Lakers win 113-86. So they now have a 3-1 lead over the Philadelphia 76ers. And checking out the simcast for game number 5, it looks like the 76ers are going to pull away with this one barely, but they are going to get the W to force another game. 3-2 lead for the Lakers now. And then game number 6 is going to be taken by the LA Lakers. So they are going to be your NBA champions and your greatest NBA team of all time, defeating the 76ers. And I think this is pretty accurate in terms of the top teams. 76ers, Lakers, some of the greatest franchises in terms of getting their greatest players all on the same team. And not surprising that the Lakers end up winning with all of the greatest players they have. I mean, just in their top 10 players, they got Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They got 6 of arguably the 10 greatest players of all time, all on the same team, which is pretty crazy and not surprising how they end up winning the championship right here. Back when we did this in 2K18, the Celtics were actually our winners, but the Lakers have improved, adding LeBron James to their roster since then. It's holding up the championship. Magic Johnson is going to be your finals MVP, so he's regular season MVP as well as finals MVP. Very impressive for Magic right there. And Anthony Davis is actually on this team as well. I don't think I actually managed to check that earlier. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. This has been your boy Smequle, and I will see you next time. Peace.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the